I tell you, on paper we have 4 positions open, and there's a lot of guys. We're going about 10, 12 guys deep in the secondary that are competing for playing time. At the corner position, obviously we got John Reed is back from injury. He's having a great start to camp. Amani, who was a second-team All-Big Ten guy last year, is also having a great start. And then there's some young guys. Tariq Castro-Fields is doing really well. Donovan Johnson, Z-Mac McPherson. And then at the safety spot, Nick Scott having a tremendous few days of camp. His leadership shows. He's a returning captain from special teams, and he's the guy that's getting us all lined up, and he's doing a great job of communicating. And that other spot, there's some other young guys again. Lamont Wade is one of the guys that's competing pretty well. Aaron Monroe is having a good start to camp, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously Garrett Taylor's in there as well. It'll be interesting to see as we get more physical in practice to see which of those guys start to separate themselves.
We talk a lot about that 11th defender on defense. That guy is either a linebacker, a safety, a corner. What is it about your secondary group? It seems like there's a mix of people who can play either safety or corner, slot or inside or outside. What can you do, and what do you see as what you can do with that?
Well, the beauty of it is we recruit better athletes that can interchange their position, and it helps with matchups. When we're playing man, we want to get the best matchup, so our best cover guys got to find the best receivers, and it allows us to do that with our safeties, whether they're playing the nickel, they're playing the dime, or playing the true safety positions, or playing the corner, boundary corner, or field corner. So it allows us to be interchangeable with those based on personnel that we're going against.
Can you, Terry, compare where the secondary is now to when you guys got here and had to play Marcus Allen, Grant Haley, Christian Campbell? You were forced to play them at that point, weren't you? And how much different is it now?
We were forced to play them guys, but they were pretty good.
Yeah.
If they were coming in the door right now, they'd have opportunities to play right now. But, I think our depth is a lot deeper, especially at the corner. I really feel like I have 5 or 6 guys that could go in the game and play and be a quality guy that plays out there. And then at the safety position, we got some young guys that, the next man up mentality, and it's those guys' time to shine. And I just think we're a lot deeper. The athleticism, we're probably a little more athletic. We're definitely a faster team. I know in my room alone, I got 5 or 6 guys that are sub 4.4 guys, so they all can run. And a guy like Tariq Castro-Fields, who's big and can run, those are tremendous assets to have out on the perimeter.
Do you want John messing at all? John Reed with returning punts again, knowing how vital he is to what you guys do on defense, because he does a lot of different things, doesn't he?
Yeah, for me personally, for John, he wants to return punts. Obviously, we have DeAndre back there that was, had a big time year last year. It just gives us alternatives. If something's going on, we have options, and the competition is what makes our guys keep getting better. DeAndre knows that John Reed is there, so now DeAndre's got to focus a little more and bring a little bit more to his game and step his game up. So it just allows us to continue to make these guys better.
You mentioned Nick Scott. What does he bring to the team that goes beyond the stats in the box score?
Leadership. He's a returning captain. Nick is the voice of our team. He's the voice of our defense. His leadership is unparalleled on the team. He speaks like a coach. He commands the locker room, and we always, as coaches, know when we're going to have a good team. It's when the players are controlling the locker room, and it's not when the coaches are going in there, controlling it. So Nick's that guy. He controls the locker room. He extends the coach's message to those guys and enforces it.
He's been here a long time. He's played all over the field.
Yeah, he's been here longer than me,
But he's played all over the field. I think he's played running back, he's played all over special teams, defense, obviously. Is there something to be said for that level of experience all over the place, and how does that maybe contribute to what he's going to do this year?
Absolutely. I had Nick in my room for a little bit, and he's played multiple positions, so he's got great experience. His leadership is the key, and his comfortability being out on the field. He played a lot of special teams for us, and if you watch his practice, you would not know he'd be a first-time defensive starter. He looks like a veteran. He looks like a guy that's been out there, and he's bringing great leadership to us. We're excited to have him out there, and and we're excited to see him continue to grow in the position.
I'm sure a lot of that, him being able to play do different things, is what he's asked to do. But I would imagine some of it is probably because he picks things up quick. He's got the athleticism.
Absolutely.
Are those fair characterizations?
Yeah, absolutely. He picks it up quickly. He's a natural. He's a tremendous athlete. He's one of the best athletes on the team. He changes directions with the best of them on the team, and he's a super physical guy. You know, you watch him on kickoff cover last year and special teams last year. In the past few years, you know, he's had some really big hits there, and we're hoping he can bring that to the defense.
Terry, if my math's right, it was 30 years ago you were a freshman on this field.
I don't want to think about 30 years ago, but
how are freshmen today different than when you came in, as far as ability to contribute right away or expectations? What are the differences
well,
in
with
kids
social
today?
media and with the training today, it's completely different. You know, just like an example of back in the day when we came to camp, we came into camp and got in shape at camp. Nowadays, they're coming in, they're ready to go, full go, conditioning. So the mentality's different. We didn't come in summer to come to summer school. Now they come for the full summer to come to summer school and train and those things. Their mentality's different. You know, you get a guy like Michael Parsons that's walking in the door, mentally in his mind, he's ready to go. When I came in, I knew I wasn't ready to go, and most of us weren't ready to go. You know, it's as simple. My senior year in '91, that was the year all those freshmen that were future first-round picks, they weren't ready to go. You know, but yet they were first-round picks. So, you know, hopefully we're getting back to that type of depth in our roster, where a freshman isn't forced out there like we have been in the last few years, but it creates tremendous depth for us.
Coach, as the defensive recruiting coordinator, you get a little bit of a breather here on the recruiting front, at least travel-wise, with the dead period during camp. How would you assess how you guys have done so far, and just your general thoughts on how things have played out to this point?
Yeah, the break is the dead period. They can't come up here, but we're still recruiting every day. You know, just like this week, we got some guys that came on board with the family. We're recruiting really well. You know, we got a high hit rate. We got guys that work really hard at it, you know, and that starts at the top with Coach Franklin. You know, he emphasizes getting the right players that fit, not necessarily the best players, and that's what we work tremendously on to just find the perfect fits for Penn State. You know, guys that fit the culture here, guys that are, once they're done playing ball, we're proud of those guys as young men and what they aspire to be as they continue their lives.
What sort of reaction are you getting when you're going out to some of these further states like Texas and Florida, compared again to when you first kind of got here? Because I think you've kind of reestablished some more pipelines.
Yeah,
there.
we're very recognizable nationally. We go in from coast to coast, you know, and you get treated as if you're the national champion. When we first got here, you know, we were oftentimes, you go down south, the SEC guys walk in, they go to those guys first, you know, and it was what it was, and we had to earn our stripes, and we've earned our stripes. Now we got to continue to earn our stripes, and you know, the beauty of this sport, it's what have you done for me lately. You know, last year's gone, this year is ahead of us, and we're going to take this thing one game at a time and try to chip away at it.
In a year like this, when it's not a great year, with all due respect to Pennsylvania, but how important is it to have those other avenues to pursue, to get prospects to fill out that class when you're not as strong, maybe close to home as you would be?
Yeah, you know, we got to protect the home state, and then we got to protect the region. You know, when you look at Virginia Northeast, we got to try to get the best of those guys as best we can, and you know, we're doing a pretty good job right now. We're making a lot of inroads in that area, and you know, and then we got to go nationally to get the guys that fit us, you know, and invest in those guys and try to get them.